Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Abby. If you're just joining me for the first time, thank you very much for stopping by, and I hope you join the family by pressing the subscribe button down below. And when you do, please do not forget to press the notification bell beside the subscribe button so that notifies you anytime a video is uploaded on my channel, and there will be a video every week. If you are in the family already, if you're a subscriber, thank you very much for coming back to watch. And I'd like to say happy Mother's Day to all mothers that are watching me in any shape, form, capacity, whatever way that you are a mom. I'd like to say congratulations, and I would like to say well done for the work that you do. I am a mom myself. I have two children. I have a 4-year-old daughter and I have a 1-year-old son, and it is a blessing to have my children in my life. It is a blessing to have them depend on me. It is a blessing to raise them in the way of the Lord. It is a blessing, to cover them, to be their protection, to be their provider, and all of that. It's a huge blessing. And I would like to say well done to everybody that is doing their thing. Well done to all mothers all over the world. Now, there's some things about motherhood that nobody tells you about. And there are some things about motherhood that some people do not talk about. I was talking to a friend a couple of days ago, and she's a mom as well, and we're talking about the challenges that we've had, the challenges that we're currently facing. And I thought about it, and I said, you know what, it's we take pictures with our kids, we talk about our daily lives with our kids and all of that, but not a lot of people share the struggle and the challenges, the stories, their stories with us as regards to being a mom and all of that. And I decided to come and sit down and talk to you guys about some of the things that I find challenging and some of the things that I'm still struggling with about being a mom. And I hope that there's some people there who can understand all of these things and who are willing to share as well. And I find that it's so much easier. You feel so much lighter when you have somebody to talk about these things, because a lot of times we are expected to just keep moving and not talk about all of these things. And I think it's very necessary when you have the opportunity to unburden yourself and just speak to anybody about what you're going through and feel better about yourself. And the first thing that I want to talk about is the newborn phase. It is so difficult when you have a newborn baby all to yourself, especially if you're a first-time mom. It almost feels like there is nothing you do that is enough for the child. And unfortunately, the child is new in this world. The child is adapting to the temperature, to the environment, the noise, everything that is going around the child. The child will believe us of the change until a couple of days later, maybe. So it is such a challenge having to wait on the child 24/7. And one of the things that is so annoying about that newborn phase is not being able to sleep. I'm sure there are moms here that can understand what I mean. You literally lose sleep. You will feel sleepy, you will be extremely tired, but you more or less cannot sleep or get enough sleep because the child decides, today I want to be up all night. And bear in mind, the child doesn't know what time of the day it is. The child doesn't know if it's morning, afternoon, or night. The child is just awake. You are so sleepy, your eyes are red, you're tired, you're famished. All you want to do is just close your eyes, but the child is like, nope, not today. And there really isn't anything you can do. You rock the child, you sing to the child. If you're African, if you're Nigerian like I am, you even back your child, but the child is like, nope, I'm not sleeping. I mean, in those sort of situations, what do you do other than just be there and keep hoping and soothing the child, hoping that the child is going to sleep. So that's one of the things I had to deal with, even as a second time mom, not just as a first time mom, even as a second time mom. I still had to relieve that phase of not being able to sleep. I mean, my baby was a baby, even though my second baby, even though I was a second time mom, but my baby was a baby. So I had to relieve that phase, and it felt as though I was going through it all over again for the first time, and it was just as hard as the first time. So, and I think that people, except you go out of your way to talk to people about what to expect and all of that, a lot of people just feel, you get used to it, you just leave that phase through, and then you just deal with it. But one of the things that mothers struggle with is sleep. And even as my children are supposedly old, I still struggle with sleep. There's sometimes my kids wake up really early in the morning and I'm like, oh no, I want to sleep some more. But more often than not, once my kids are up, that's it. Sleep over. And then sometimes in the afternoon, I want to take a nap, but the kids are running around the house, screaming, shouting, and I'm not able to get any sleep. Most of the times I have to wait till when it's nap time for them to be able to have some downtime and lay my head and sleep in the afternoon. So it's still something that is ongoing, although better, but it is still a challenge that mothers do face. The second thing is feeding. I will first of all start with breastfeeding. For my first child, she latched on very, very quickly. I think a couple of hours after birth, I was already producing milk. I was already lactating. She was already sucking. Everything was all good. 3 weeks after birth, I decided, you know what? I can't do exclusive. I'm going to have to substitute with a baby formula. And that's what I did. Thankfully, my daughter didn't mind. So it was a lot easy for me, Now with my second, that boy. A lot of people say, male children eat a lot more than female children. Well, that was the perception that I had, and I tried to introduce my second child on baby formula really quickly, but it wasn't having it. Every time I fed him with milk, with formula, he always threw up. I'm talking about rigorous throwing up, vomiting and all of that. And the few times that happened, it just really scared me. I went to the hospital, I went to speak to the pediatrician and all of that, and they were like, if he's not taking it, then please do not give him. If he's throwing up and gargling and gasping and all of that, then just leave it and just concentrate on breastfeeding. I was like, oh my God, so am I going to have to exclusively breastfeed this boy? And that's exactly what I did. Now, the challenge that I also had was the fact that for some reason, this boy was able to tell very quickly the difference between a bottle teeth, and my nipples. So if I express milk and I put it in the bottle, it was always very difficult having him take that. Most times I'll end up having to breastfeed him because there was no other thing that you could take, especially whenever I had to go out. It was just really difficult. I had to work my way around his body clock and know when to quickly step out, probably go to the store, get a couple of things and be back at home and all of that. But a lot of times I had to go everywhere with him because he needed me, he needed to feed, and I was his supplier. So we had to be together, and that was extremely difficult for me. Eventually I got used to it. Eventually we developed a routine that worked for us and all of that, but it still doesn't change the fact that it is difficult and it can be difficult. And back to my first child, when I was trying to wean her from to solid food, it was quite difficult. Children can be very picky sometimes. They can decide they don't want to eat this, they want to eat that. It can just get really too much, when you're trying to establish a feeding pattern for your child, or you're trying to establish some sort of a meal plan for them. So all of those things are things that people generally do not talk about, and I believe that a lot of mothers tend to struggle with that as well. And then secondly, personal development sacrifices that mothers make. A lot of mothers have to sometimes stop work. A lot of mothers have to sometimes extend the maternity leave if they are coping as well, or if they don't have any help with the child once they are about to resume back to the office. A lot of mothers sacrifice their time. And it affects mothers, especially entrepreneurs, who have businesses and all of that. And even when you have time to get back to business, it just sometimes isn't quite the same. The momentum isn't quite the same, because you have this child that you have to fend for pretty much round the clock. It is really, really stressful. It is draining. The sacrifices are just in excess. For me, for my first child, it was easy for me because I had my mom then and I had my mother-in-law, and the both of them would alternate staying with me. So it was very easy. And I was back in Nigeria at that time, maternity leave off work. I had to return to work after 3 months, and my child was taking formula at that time, so it was easy for me to go to work, come back and be with my child and nurse my child and all of that. With my second, however, it was extremely difficult because I was on breast milk exclusively, not by choice, by the way, but anyways. So I had to work out a plan in order for me to work from home a lot of times, in order to be there for him. Even if I had to go to work, I already had my day structured and planned. I was really, really military. I would express some milk. I leave milk at home with him. My mother-in-law was staying with us at the time, so it was easy for me to have and manage him whenever I needed to go have meetings with clients and all of that. So yes, I had help, and I had someone that was able to look after my child whilst I was away. It still was difficult because for every time that I'm out, I'm on the clock. Any moment I am done with my meeting, I don't have time to socialize. I don't have time to speak to nobody. I get into my car and that's it. I'm going back home because I have a child that is waiting for me at home. And then another thing I also feel like mothers don't talk about is how we feel, our feelings, our emotions. See, motherhood can be emotionally tasking and draining. Let's talk about mood swings, shall we? I have a 4-year-old again. I'm saying it again. I have a 4-year-old and I have a 1-year-old, and I still get mood swings. A lot of times, I just want peace and quiet. I don't want to hear any voice. I don't want to hear any screaming. I don't want to hear any shouting. I don't even want to hear the TV. I just want to be by myself and hear my own thoughts. That doesn't happen a lot of times, and it just I sometimes I just get cranky, like, oh god, I just get cranky and moody, and sometimes in order for me not to always be like that, I had rather to work with my husband. We had to work out what works for us and what doesn't work for us. There are days when I don't feel like doing anything as it relates to being a mom. All I just want to do is lay in bed, watch a movie, listen to some podcasts, sleep. And so a lot of those times, if he's available, if he's going to be in the house, I leave him with the kids in the living room and I just shut down in the room, and he's happy to take care of the kids and all of that. So I think that if you have that support of having your partner, your husband, whatever, around with you, I think you should obviously lean on them for support. If you have parents that live in the same town as you do, if you have parents that live around and your parents are able to help you, be with your child whilst you go off and take care of certain things, you get certain things done, by all means, work with that. If you have very supportive friends around you and they're willing to help babysit whilst you go do whatever it is you need to do to get yourself back and feel better for yourself, then by all means do all of that in order for you to feel the best version of yourself. Because if you are better and you feel the best version of yourself, then you can be the best version of yourself to your children as well. So again, I'd like to say happy Mother's Day, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all mothers out there. You are amazing, you're beautiful, and you are doing a good job. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you do not forget to like, thumbs up if you like this video. Do not forget to comment in the comment section so we can get the conversation going, and most importantly as well, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.